Wie? Hoe? Okay, so I'm live. Okay, very good. Hi everyone. Is it already 5 o'clock? Yeah? Oh, it's 5 o'clock too. So welcome everyone. For those of you who are coming back, well, nice to see you again. And those are that are new, great you're joining us. I hope you're all doing as well as possible and coping well and staying settled and positive. Yeah. So let's start again with a big, big, deep breath and a sigh out to give our nervous system a little bit of a break. I think that's just whenever you, that's why I keep starting with it. It's just for you to really get it in yourself to do that a couple of times a day, as many times as possible. And we'll go through the points again as well. If you don't, if you're here for the first time and you don't know the points, don't worry about it. They're just points in the body that will quickly help your nervous system to settle. And if you do that many times during the day, you create pauses and sort of, moments of where the whole system goes whoosh, and hopefully that changes into an undercurrent of you being more relaxed throughout. That is the idea anyway. So let's take a deep breath. And let it out with a sigh. And let's do that again. Good. And now relax your eyes. You can close your eyes. You can also keep them open. Relax your eyes. Relax the jaw, the roots of the tongue. Relax the waist, the belly. And feel the floor, feel gravity having you. And let's quickly do that again before I start talking about the theme. So relax your eyes, and deep behind your eyes, deep within the brain. This is really important when you lie in bed. See if you can get that area deep within the brain relaxed. Relax the jaw, the root of the tongue. Relax the belly and the waist, the side waist. And feel the ground underneath holding you. Sort of give in to that pull of gravity. Wonderful. Okay. So I hope you can already feel what that does. That already shifts you a little bit, and you may have to repeat it many times for a bigger shift to come, but it is really helpful. Today's theme is patience, and patience in itself and of itself is a spiritual practice. Patience is the opposite of restlessness, and in a way also of restlessness, really. So restlessness is what we as a society, as the world, suffer from a lot these days. It's just also that idea that there's constant impulses coming in, but also we can have whatever we want, and that creates a lot of restlessness. Except now we can't have whatever we want. So we're in an interesting position at the moment, all of us. And then also the word entitlement comes to mind, because if you need patience in and of a spiritual practice, but if you feel you are entitled to certain things, entitled to being able to hang out with your friends, entitled to be able to do whatever it is you want, entitled to go out of the house, which are normal things that we normally can do, but if you still feel, and you can't do them, if you still feel entitled to them, it's difficult. You can come across a lot of resistance, and it's not very helpful. So it's just so helpful if we could just give that all up. If we could just say, okay, I don't feel I'm owed anything. I don't feel I'm entitled to anything. I'm just going to be okay with what is here. So that immediately gives some sort of relaxation within the situation you are. It's not easy, but it's possible, and it's at least good to know about it. So patience as well, I think about the words tolerance and forbearance, and especially tolerance. And tolerance is open to the views and the way other people do things. Yeah, so it's and patience and tolerance are, as a spiritual practice, are maybe easy to practice when things go smooth in your life. But what if things fall apart, like right now, when sort of the life you know falls apart? Then this becomes more difficult. Then the whole, then suddenly we all revert back to old patterns. When things fall apart, the way we can normally be patient, or normally we can think about our reaction for a moment, pause and be aware and be conscious and then react, so we leave space for another, suddenly falls away. We all revert back into old patterns, and not just you, but also the people around you. And this is when trouble starts with the people around you, especially if you're locked up in a small space with your partner, your kids, your friends, parents, maybe all together. And you have to share a space together, and you can't get out. You can't walk away from that situation. So, and then if everybody reverts back to old patterns and nobody's got space anymore for anybody else's patterns, things are going to blow up. Yeah. So this, knowing this and working on your patience and on your tolerance, that you know that we all revert back to old patterns, and then think about things like understanding, like tolerance and patience, also things like understanding and forgiveness and loving kindness and compassion. These words are so connected to this situation, but also to patience with each other. So the practice of patience is, again, like what we've been talking about for the past 3 sessions, it's turning towards what's going on in your life. Yeah, it's not pushing it away, it's embracing it and seeing it as your ally to grow in this situation. Because if you see this as an opportunity, then it becomes also maybe an interesting place to be, and we can begin to grow within ourselves, and because this is a deep opportunity for growth. Okay, so again, if things don't go the way you want, you can either find a solution, then you don't have anything to worry about, or you cannot find a solution, but then you still don't have anything to worry about, because that is then just the way it is. Normally, we have a third option. So we can either accept, you can either fix. If you find a solution, you fix something, nothing to worry about. If you can't find a solution, you accept, nothing to worry about. If you don't accept, you just suffer. Normally, we have the opportunity to walk away. But in the situation the world is in at the moment, walking away might not be an option anymore, because there's nowhere to go. Yeah, we are confined and are having to face stuff. So this is interesting. So it's about changing it if you can. If not, accept it. Practice patience and get on with it. Yeah, and tolerance to the people around you and to the government and to the decisions that are made for you. You just have to deal with it. So we make something of the situation. This is the practice of patience, making something of the situation that is presented to you and that we cannot possibly change. Meditation helps. So meditation is a spiritual practice that you can practice your patience with, because you sit with sensations that you may not like. You sit with feelings. You might experience physical pain. So this is your moment to practice to be with it, to stay with it, to not distract yourself, not to fall into restlessness, not to walk away from it. And this, if you practice this properly, you really become a different person. You suddenly notice that you can be that tolerant person, that within your daily life you find those moments where you go, "Oh, I really want that person to do it my way, but can I just take a deep breath? Go through the points in my body and really think for a moment, is it the end of the world if they do it their way? And is it really going to harm me if it's not going exactly the way I think it should be going? Give people space around you, and they will pick that up, and that will be a ripple out effect. So I think I've talked enough, because I also want to keep it within the half an hour, so we'll start moving a little bit. But just remember that to be able to endure discomfort and unpleasant sensation and difficult situations, like at the moment we're all in, and to stay with them and deal with them with grace, is super, super valuable. Yeah, and this is what patience teaches you, and this is what this situation can teach you, and this is how you can come out as a much grown, much more tolerant, patient, loving, and kind human being. So let's go for that. All right, so let's stand up for a moment. And make fists and start to roll your hands around. Maybe you want to do it with your fingers out, just so you get most sensations in the wrists, and then roll the other direction. Okay, then roll your shoulders back, and your whole body can move along. You don't have to isolate your shoulders at all. I like to bend my knees and let a bit of movement come into my spine as well. And then the other direction. Wonderful. And then you can sweep your arms from side to side, and look what happens with my feet. So when my arms move to the right, I come onto the toes of the opposite foot. And you just feel the side body stretching. So you sweep up your arms, allowing the side body to stretch. And then from there you can sweep the arms around the body with a bit of a clasp. So the arms are completely relaxed and they flop around the body, and you can feel your feet grounded and let your body, you can even look over your shoulder if you wish. Feeling the twist in the spine, enjoying that. Remember to breathe. Okay, and come back to center. And then place your hands on your hips and make nice circles with the hips. And the other direction. And you make them as small or as big as you want. And you can do whatever you want with your arms. You can also let them hang. You can have them on the hips to support yourself. And just really, again, let this be a whole body movement. You don't have to isolate your hips at all. Okay, and the other direction as well. Don't just watch me. Join in. This is the only way that you're going to feel better. And now start lifting up your knee and then moving it out to the side. So we're just kind of going through the joints of the body. Just very quickly. Even if you do this every day, where you just get the joints to move. Super important. And then bringing the feet a little closer, bending your knees. You can let the knees rest against each other, so they've got a little support. And then move the knees around in circles. And then the ankles. So you can place your toes, the ball of your foot down, and then circle your ankle one way. And then the other way. Then shake out the foot as if it's not your foot and you want to get rid of it. And then place the top of the foot down, so you stretch the front of the foot. Wonderful. Other side. So first the ankle. And then the other direction. And then stretch the front of the foot. And then shake it out. So if you want to shake off a boot. Okay. Then I'd like to do the breath of joy. And this is just to get the energy to move and to flow. And the breath of joy goes like this. You bring up your arms. It's all one in-breath. So the in-breath goes in 3 different parts. In, in, in. Yeah, so in, 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 and then out through the mouth with a bit of a ha. If you have an vulnerable back, you just don't do the forward bend. You just do in, and you just let the arms sweep. And then you do in, in. Just let the arms sweep. So you can come into the forward bend or not. So if you're vulnerable in your lower back, don't do it. Just keep straight up. Okay, let's do that. So it's all one in-breath. So in 3 parts you breathe in and then 1 exhalation. So keep going. Fill up the lungs. Lower part, middle part, upper part, out. We keep going. Three more. And hang down for a moment. Let your head hang. Let your arms hang. Inhale. Sort of place your hands on your shins or on the floor. Lift the spine halfway so you're using your back muscles. And then exhale, place your hands back down. Come into squat. And then we come into our meditation seat. So for those of you who are new here today, it doesn't matter how you sit. You can sit up on a chair, on a stack of pillows, on your knees. It doesn't matter. You just want to become comfortable enough and you want to be able to sit with a straight back if possible and an open chest. So feel free to adjust so you can do that. And if lying down is all you can do, of course, that's okay too. It's just harder to stay present. Okay, so take a moment to settle, to close your eyes. And once more, take a deep breath and a sigh out. And sigh into relaxation. Sigh deep into yourself, into the emptiness, and at the same time into the fullness of being. Let's do that again. Relax your eyes. Relax behind your eyes, till deep within the brain. Allowing the breath to come to its natural rhythm, but let the breath do that and sort itself out. You don't have to do anything for that. Relax the jaw. And where you feel the tongue begins, it can be deep down in the body, in the throat, for example. Relax the root of the tongue. Soften your heart. And relax the belly and waist. And feel the floor. Or that what supports you. It could be the chair. And realize underneath is the earth somewhere supporting you, the structure you're sitting on. Feel the solidity and the stability of that. Feel the structure of your body. And 3 times to yourself say the words thank you, thank you, thank you to your body for supporting you all this time, for allowing you to do what you can do, for being there, the expression of the body. Let's do that again 3 times to yourself inwardly. Say the words thank you and just feel it. Thank you for what we do have. Thank you for what is here. Thank you for the people around us, even though I'm sure sometimes we wish they weren't. They're still there. They're still our loved ones. And then from your heart, reach out in the space around you. And feel that space that is always there, supporting you, holding the entirety of the world and you. The same space around all of us meditating, holding all of us, supporting all of us, always there, always available. And collapse into that support. It's as if you're collapsing into your most comfortable chair or in bed at night, where you can just let go for a moment. And allow that space, that love that is also in the background, supporting you. Allow that to touch you and to reveal that same space and love inside you, inside your heart. It's all right there. Sometimes we've just lost our connection to it for a moment. Remember, 90% of our suffering is mental suffering. So leaving that all alone for a moment and tuning into the light within our own hearts sort of breaks down the suffering, breaks down the structures of suffering. So be with that light within your own heart. And remember, it's this light in your heart is also in everybody else's hearts. It is what makes us one. And how we connect, how we are connected. It's there for everyone, always available. Sometimes we've just lost the way to it. When the mind gets crowded out, when the light gets crowded out by the mind. And then when we tune in, create gaps that light can start to be felt again. And also give space to your emotions now. And hold them in the light. Remember, with every meditation, it's when you dare to be vulnerable, when you dare to feel. It's that same energy, that same ground where love resides. It's when we put a barrier in between our emotions, that we also put a barrier in between us and love. You can't shut out one without shutting out the other. So allow it all. It's okay. You're not alone. There's many of us. And remember that every action of the people around you, it's either love that they act from, or it's looking for love. Yeah? It's either one or the other. So they're either looking for it or they're expressing it. Nothing else is possible. Remember that. So that you can be compassionate towards your own patterns, towards other people's patterns, towards your own triggers, towards other people's triggers. And you can have that moment where you just rest before you respond, so that you choose your response. That's patience, that's tolerance, that's love. Bring your attention back to the heart space. And get in touch with your wish to be happy and to be peaceful. And to be in touch with love, with that light in your own heart. And knowing it's the same in everybody else's hearts. And that whatever other people do is either an expression of love or a looking for love. May I be happy and peaceful. And may all beings, everywhere, in all directions without exception, be happy and peaceful. May we all be aware enough to practice patience and tolerance and understanding and forgiveness and compassion towards ourselves and others. May all beings, all of us meditating right now, feel the connection for a moment, and all the people around us meditating for now. And then everybody in the world, all beings. May all beings be happy and peaceful. From your heart, feel into your whole body with kindness, From your heart, feel into your head and neck and shoulders and arms. From your heart, feel into your torso and legs. And then inhale deeply. And as you're exhaling, you can come back and blink your eyes open. Of course, you can also keep meditating. That's your choice. So I hope this helped you again to come out of your head, more into your body, more connected with your heart, more connected with life and with your loved ones. Please, everybody, stay safe. Look after yourselves. Remember during the day to have gaps where you look after yourself, where you take that deep breath, relax those parts of your body, and this way become more present and practice patience as a spiritual practice. Embrace this situation, work on yourself so that you come out knowing you've learned, you've grown bigger and more loving person than before this happened. So thank you for showing up, everyone. Let's keep showing up to build up, keep showing up to build this space. When you do well, come. When you don't do well, come and sit, because this is how you keep going relatively well and keep the mind quiet and the heart light. Yeah. So I hope to see you tomorrow again. And it's always keep moving as well. So we move only a little bit during these classes. There's a suggested class in the description below of this class. It's on EkhartYoga. Really good to do that. And otherwise, there's also the relief page with free classes for those that aren't members. So I'll see you everyone tomorrow. And thank you so much for showing up. Namaste. Come here.